Hey guys, this is Quita B with a T. So today on Quita B's Tarot Talk, on Fridays, I said I was going to post a pre-recorded video about topics and discussions on all things relationships, right? So I do really want to have a mix of tarot and relationship advice and just guidance and help on this channel, just kind of assisting and helping people through their woes and their situations, the ups and downs, because I have a lot of experience, unfortunately, but I'm here to help you through all of that, okay? So this topic, and today our topic we're going to be discussing is healing after heartbreak, okay? So you get with somebody, everything is fine, everything is good and dandy, you know, you smelling all the flowers and, the rainbows and everything is just, peaches and cream and cotton candy, right? But then you get hit with the breakup, right? Whether, something that they did, you found something out, y'all just were not seeing eye to eye, disrespect, sometimes it could even be abuse. It's just so many different reasons why we break up and we decide to part ways from somebody that we once loved or cared about, right? So now pretty much the question is, what next? Okay, how do you heal after this breakup? How do you proceed to move forward? How do you get back to you, And the thing about that is you would never get back to who you are, right? What is going to happen, or what is happening, is that you are evolving and becoming a better version of yourself. So you would never be that same person that you were before you met this person, okay? Before this person entered your life. You are becoming a new person, you are evolving, and you're becoming a better person. So the first thing for healing after a breakup, a lot of us have that negative thinking, right? We have that negative thinking. We're sad, we're crying, we're like, why? And we're asking universe, we're asking God, why did this have to happen to me? And why am I going through this? It's always that question. And what I would challenge you all to do, instead of asking the question of why this is happening to me, ask the question, what is this trying to teach me? Change your perspective on the outlook of the breakup or the situation at hand, and try to look at it from a different perspective. And I know, yes, it's easier said than done. This is coming from somebody who had multiple heartbreaks, okay? But this is also coming from somebody who has experience and who has gotten over them and healed from these, right? So it's all about your perspective and how you see it. And a lot of times we have a lot of anger, we have a lot of frustration, we have a lot of hurt and pain, and we pointing the fingers, and it's just pretty much what happens is the hurt turns into anger, and then it turns into frustration, and then we can kind of lash it out on other things, other people. If you have children like I do, you can find yourself like lashing out on your children, lashing out on your friends, your loved ones. You start to become isolated into yourself. You don't want to talk, maybe you could be the type that go on social media and start posting every little thing that you are feeling. Not a good thing, not a good look. Take it for somebody who's been there. Or you can be the opposite and just kind of completely ghost yourself from social media altogether. You're not answering phone calls. People like, where's she at? Where he at? What's going on? And that's kind of like the mode we get into. And it's human. It's human nature to get into that mode, get into that energy of feeling like, no one cares and no one understands, and how could you even understand, and you don't know, and it's just, you start that, again, that hurt and that pain starts to become anger and frustration, and then we find ourselves lashing out on the people who care about us, who love us, who's not done anything to us, but be there for us. So again, it's about changing your perspective on the situation so that you can handle and maneuver through that hurt, that pain in a better way, okay? So you just got to start looking at it like, what is this trying to teach me? Kind of dig a little deeper. Sometimes we do look at situations when it's a breakup and we kind of point the finger at the person and like it's all their fault. And I'm not saying that you had anything to do with this breakup or you had anything to do with this, but just kind of look at you know, what you could have maybe not even done better, but just how you could have navigated things differently. Not in the sense that you are at fault, but in the sense of protecting yourself and loving yourself and choosing and putting yourself first. To have not got into that place in the first place, you know. So maybe it's the person that you chose, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you didn't pay attention to the red flags, and that's going to be on another video as well. So just different things could have come up that prompted you to get to that point where, you know, the breakup happened. And again, the first thing you do is you go into this negative mode. Everybody, you're mad at everybody, you're mad at the world, and nobody understands, nobody gets it. You want to isolate yourself, you want to eat, you know, bonbons and cupcakes. Luckily for me, and when I'm in that energy, I don't eat at all. So, you know, I'm like, you know, after a breakup I might lose a few pounds, and that's always a plus, right? So everybody just handles things differently. You know, some people can lash out and kind of be more in tune with people, and kind of not necessarily in tune, but kind of want to be out more to kind of get their mind off of the situation. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So then we get to that point where you're missing your person. You're set, you know, you're trying to figure out, you're getting in that point where you're like, I miss them, I want them back. And you're thinking about all the things y'all did together, walking down the street, going to the movies. You may walk into the store and you get just a flashback of y'all walking in the store together and, you know, playing patty cake or whatever the case may be. You know, you have something of theirs at your home that reminds you of them, their smell, their scent. Everywhere you go, it's like you see this person, you can't get them out, you can't get away from them, right? So you're like, what do I do? And you know, you start to miss this person, and you start to get to that point where you're like, I want to reach out. I gotta text them, I gotta call them, I gotta see what's up. Like, do they miss me? Do they care? You know, and you're at that point and you're like, what do I do? And you're fighting yourself. You're fighting that human nature urge, that emotional part of you that wants to reach out to this person. So you're fighting the urge to not to, because you know what they did was wrong, or you know they were in the wrong or whatever, but you miss this person. You want to reach out. And what I'm going to say with that is you have to use your own discernment. You know, I believe that everybody deserves second chances in some situations, but in some situations, no, honey, it's no second chance needed. So you have to use your discernment, whatever your situation is. I am not condoning you go back to anything, especially something abusive, somebody being narcissistic, somebody using you, abusing you mentally, emotionally, physically. I don't condone any of that. Hopefully it will, you know, if it was just like a matter of difference of opinion or something like that, you know, stuff like that can be overlooked, and it could just be, you know, a challenge in y'all relationship that is challenging y'all and strengthening y'all relationship to move forward. But in some cases it's just like, yeah, it was a done deal, they did this, did that, they cheated, you know, or any other thing. So you have to figure out if it's worth it. You know what you're willing to tolerate, and you know what you're willing to deal with. And you have to really kind of sit with yourself for a minute, and you have to figure out what it is, what's best for you, okay? But you also have to set boundaries with this person. You know, you have to like feed them with a long-handed spoon. You don't want to get back into the situation too soon. You know, you want to kind of get some time to clear your head and clear your space to figure out what is the best thing for you, okay? And sometimes you just have to set boundaries with people. Sometimes it can be, on the other hand, it can be them reaching out to you and you're like, what do I do? Again, you have to set boundaries with these people. You have to let them know, look, I'm hurting. I'm in this space right now where I'm trying to figure things out, and I need you to respect my space, okay? Give me 6 feet, okay? So you have to get into that energy, okay? You got to set boundaries with people. Let them know, like, look, I need a minute. And then, like I said, if it's vice versa and it's you missing them, if it's something that they need, you have to respect their space. You have to respect what it is that they're trying to do. You know, we all are different, and we all are having a human experience, and we all, you know, pretty much handle things differently, you know, and so you just have to know your person and just know yourself, but you have to definitely set boundaries with that, and, you know, love people from a distance, okay? So then the next thing is you're questioning if what you did was right. Did I make a mistake by breaking up with them? Did I, was I just in my feelings and my emotions? And that's why you should really never make permanent decisions when you are in an emotional state. I don't care what it is. Like, not like, and I hate to go dark on y'all, but people like literally kill people and be murdering people because they're in their feelings and their emotions. They found out they got cheated on or whatever the case may be. And it all could have been prevented if they would have just woosah'd and count down from 10 and went and ate a banana or something. Okay. So people allow their emotions to get the best of them. And that's something that I know all too well. I'm a Scorpio Sun, so, and then I'm a Gemini rising. So I got like the devil over here and the angel over here. And it's just like, it's a whirlwind of just craziness, right? So try being me for a day. So it's just a whirlwind of craziness, but you can't allow your emotions to get the best of you. You have to be in control of your emotions. And it's very easy, much easier said than done, but it can be done. You just have to become a master of your own emotions, and don't allow your emotions to make you or put you in a position to where, writing checks that your ass can't cash, right? So when you get into that space where you're questioning if what you did was right, what kind of gets me through that situation is I go back to the reason why I left in the first place, or why I ended it, or why I broke up, or whatever the case may be. I revert back to that energy, that time, that what I felt in that moment. And most of the times, especially if it's something that was hurtful, it kind of is a wake-up call. Like, girl, you ain't wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. You were right by what you did. You were right by letting go. You were right by walking away. He or she was in the wrong. So when you revert back to that energy, that whatever, that feeling that you felt in the moment when you initially ended things with them, or things kind of, went sideways, it's like, it's a wake-up call, and it sucks that you have to revert back to that energy to kind of get a wake-up call as to why you're doing what you're doing, and remind yourself that what you did was completely right, and you're not wrong for feeling the way you feel or operating in the way that you operated. As long as you ain't slashing nobody's tires or cutting nobody's clothes up, you fine. But if you exited left with grace and you just told them what it was and you kept it pushing, you good, okay? But that's pretty much what I do, or what I've done, to pretty much remind myself that I'm not crazy and I wasn't wrong. Because you can get into that moment, into that energy where you're missing this person, all that, you're thinking about this person nonstop, and you're wondering, hey, if what I did was wrong. And honey, let me tell you about the enemy, the devil. He would try to come in and he would try to use your emotions and your feelings, especially if you're a very emotional person, because they know that can get to you that way, right? And would use those, all those good memories and things like that to get you to make a mistake or do something that you would have never done if you were in your right mind. You see what I'm saying? So you have to detox. You have to really remove your emotions from the situation completely, and you have to be more logical. And if y'all know about tarot, you got to be in the emperor mode. You got to be head over heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw the emotions out the window. You got to be in King of Swords mode. You got to be in Queen of Swords mode. You have to be in this energy so that you can better move on and get through the situation. Then the next thing you want to do is focus on your self-love and the love of others. People love you. There are people that love you, so just know that there are people who love you and that's out there and that's rooting for you, that wants you to do well. There could be some people that, don't really have a lot of help or assistance, or may feel like they don't have, love of others around them. But if you are one of those people who you feel like you're alone, you don't have the help of others or loved ones, such as, children or, siblings, or a mother, a father, cousins, friends, things like that, just know you have your spirit team with you. You have your spirit, your guides, your angels. They are with you always. And even though you can't see them and you can't talk to them, honey, I talk to myself all the time, okay? We be having full-blown conversations, okay? They know what it is. And you can do it too, okay? and you talk to them, you get it out. If you want to scream, scream. You want to cry, cry. It's okay. Get those emotions out. I'd rather them be out than you hold them in and they bottle up and then they hit the roof and you end up doing something that you would have later regretted, okay? So you have to focus on self-love. You have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to put yourself first. Just know that whatever the reason why you all broke up in the first place, or why things went separate or went sideways, just know in your heart that you did the best thing for you. You know, you are choosing yourself, and choosing yourself is never wrong. You are never wrong for choosing yourself, especially when you're in a situation where you are getting hurt. You are being disrespected, and, you know, you're the one that's, you know, being mistreated. You're never wrong for choosing yourself. And people will make you feel like you're wrong. And that's those, you know, narcissistic, you know, evil behaviors from people, whether it's men or women. They would try to guilt trip you into thinking that the way you doing what you did, whether it was breaking something up or feeling the way you feel, is wrong because you chose yourself. What it is that that person is feeling some type of way because you are choosing yourself and you're not choosing them. And what they do is they expect it. And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, it's been something that has happened multiple times for you to get to a point where you got to break up over it, right? So this is not something new to them. But what's new to them is you finally putting your foot down and choosing yourself. And that just is a shock to them, is a shock to their system. They don't know how to handle it. So they will try to guilt you into believing that you were wrong for walking away or choosing yourself because they want you to choose them because they're being selfish, but in the negative way, right? And so that's where it becomes a thing where, you know, you start to feel some type of way and you may start questioning if what you did was wrong or, you know, whatever the case. But again, always choosing yourself in a negative, messed up situation like that, you're never wrong for that. Completely always choose yourself. Self-love is the best love, okay? And it actually makes people look at you with more respect for choosing yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't hate on nobody for loving themselves. Like how? You know what I'm saying? Unless they just arrogant or something like that. But you can't hate on nobody for loving themselves and choosing themselves and getting out of a fucked up situation. You just can't, right? So then you have, and then you also, and another thing, accept the love and the help from others. Like the people that's around you, that's trying to dote on you and trying to help you and uplift you, accept that love. You know, don't get into that space again where you're so angry, you're frustrated, you're taking that out on the people that you love. Allow that love to help and assist you with healing, okay? Because it's definitely necessary. So the next thing is stay busy. An idle mind is the devil's playground. So you want to stay busy, whether it's work, projects, you know, side jobs, whatever, hustles, whatever, binge watching something on Netflix, whatever the case may be, you have to stay busy, stay productive, keep going. You know, you don't want to slow down. Don't be idle, keep moving, find hobbies. Like whatever the case is, you just got to keep moving, because the more you're just sitting in that energy, the more it's easier for the enemy, the devil, to access you, to get you in your feelings, get you in your emotions, and keep you in that same state. And the whole point is to heal, right? Because that's this topic, healing after heartbreak. So the point is to heal, and in order to heal, you have to constantly keep moving. Again, just do things. Go out, hang out with your friends, you know, get out into nature, take a walk around the park, do things that you wouldn't or you were not doing before. So you have to get in that energy and get in that space to where you are being active, you're being proactive, you're doing things, you're out there into the world, right? You're staying busy, you know, and that's a really good distraction. It's been a good distraction for me in the times that I've been in situations like this, you know, me staying busy and staying active and doing things that I love, you know, spending time with my kids. It just helps get the things off my mind, and it eases the pain, okay? So then the next thing here, don't start dating or get back out there until you are completely healed, right? So I was just having a conversation with my son about this, and hurt people, we pretty much say hurt people, right? People get into this energy where they're hurt and they're damaged and they have not yet healed from somebody else that hurt them. And then they think that the best way to get over something else is to get up under something else. But that ain't the case. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to continue to repeat the cycle over and over again. And it's just going to be a whole world of people who's just around here hurting people. Okay? And that's the problem with the world today, you know? And that's why it's hard to date or find people or get out there or whatever, because so many people are like on guard and on standby and just waiting on somebody to fuck up or whatever, and they can't completely let their guard down. And then others are just still hurting and they still have not completely healed, but yet they're putting themselves out here to date for what? I have no clue. And like I said, most of the times it's because they're pretty much what they're doing is escaping their past. They're escaping the hurt. They're escaping the pain. And the way they do that is by trying to get up under somebody else or deal with somebody else. But what they're doing is they're just bringing that baggage right along with them. And they're checking it in. And now it's somebody else's problem. You see what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you are completely healed. You know, you got to be single, be single. Hell, I've been single for like 10 plus years. Yeah. You know, I didn't have situationships, friends with benefits, all that, but never a full-blown relationship, right? So you have to heal. And a part of that is because so many people I have dealt with has been on this journey where they have not healed, and they have bring this negative energy, this baggage into a connection that I'm trying to build and grow with them, and they have not completely healed, or they got some other dark past shit that they got going on, childhood traumas, all of that, right? And healing is not just about healing from the person who hurt you, but it's about healing and forgiving yourself for, you know, putting yourself in situations like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things just happen to us, but other times, you know, there are times where we know better, but we still deal with it. We still stay in situations. And sometimes people can get to that point where they're like, oh my God. And now you have to heal yourself, and you have to forgive yourself for putting yourself in those situations or staying in situations longer than you need it to be. So it's not always about healing from the person that hurt you, but it's most of the times about healing yourself too. Okay? And sometimes we got some inner stuff that doesn't really come to the surface until we start dealing with Joe or Sherry or whoever the case may be. And then that's when the stuff bubbles to the surface, and we realize, and we have to take a step back and be like, dang, well, yeah, I do need to work on that. Or, you know, the universe shows us stuff. And that's why people come into your life. They come into your life for a season or a reason. Sometimes they stay for a while. Sometimes they stay for a short period of time. But again, change your perspective. Look at the situation and say, what is this trying to teach me? What do I need to learn from this? Is it something that I need to look within and heal in myself? And sometimes a person can trigger you and mirror you. And that's what I would call a karmic relationship. Somebody that's triggering you. And it's bringing up stuff within you that you didn't realize that you had, or you didn't know that you had, or you knew it was there, but you never faced it. You never healed from it. And that's why you have to really look at these connections when you break up or you part your ways, and you really have to dig deep, okay? And you really have to get to the core of the problem, because if you don't, you're just going to continue to keep repeating these cycles. You're going to end up with another guy or another girl, but her name or his name may be different, but they'll be the same person. You see what I'm saying? So you want to, you know, stop these cycles. You want to heal, and you want to start a new cycle, and you want to be a better person. Like I said, you would never be the same person that you were before, when you were in a connection with this person, after you know, end things with this person, because you are becoming and you are evolving every time you enter and exit a connection. And that's for all of us, right? So just make sure you heal before you get back out there, right? So yeah, like I said, talk to trusted friends. Also, you can use your spirituality. You know, me with tarot and this is kind of like what helped me get through a really tough situation that I was in years ago. I turned to tarot, and then that's when I found out I had a gift, and 5, 6 years later, here I am. So that connection led me here. So you can look at stuff, and again, like I said, it's all about perspective. I could look at that situation and be like, oh, he had me messed up and he broke my heart and da da da. But if it wasn't for that relationship, well, that connection, if it wasn't for that connection, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now. I wouldn't have a channel. I wouldn't be doing these things. So yeah, it's a effed up way for it to happen, but it helped me and it's pushed me into the person that I am today. And I'm doing things that I would not have done had that connection never happened. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get the positive and look at the positive from the situation, and don't dote so much on the negative, okay? Because that's what the enemy wants you to do. But you can talk to your therapist, your counselors, your pastors, if you have them, to help you with spiritual guidance. Because a lot of times, like, I just feel like God is in everything. He is in all of us, and He is on everything. And I know some people, may not believe, and that's your preference, and I have nothing against you. I love all. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe in, and what you do, right? But I believe in God wholeheartedly, and He is in everything. And without Him, I wouldn't have gotten through the most hardest times of my life. So I'm forever thankful. So if you are similar to me and you believe in spirituality, if you believe in tarot, you believe in some type of spirituality, you believe in something higher and something bigger than yourself. And to me, that's the universe. That's God, okay? So I feel like you can turn to that to help you and assist you with healing and growing. It has helped me in tremendous ways, and I'm forever indebted to that spiritual growth that I have experienced amongst these last few years in my life. And even before that, just not knowing that that's what it was. You see what I'm saying? So definitely get assistance from, your pastors, your counselors, your therapists, whoever, trusted friends and things like that, right? And so just remember, and this is one thing that I definitely quote all the time to even, my clients that I deal with, and I do readings for personal readings and things like that. Life's rejection is God's protection, okay? So the things that life is rejecting us from, just know that that's God's way of protecting us. So many times we hold on to things that is not good for us. We stay in things too long, or longer than we need to, and we hold on to these things, or we have this mindset that this is for me and I want this, and we get like fixated on a certain outcome of a situation when we're dealing with a person, and not realizing that sometimes it's not meant for us. And we get so caught up in our